April the 3rd, 2022. Guys, in last night's video, we talked about Russia and the ruble being backed by gold now, and Russia's refusing any payments for its oil or natural gas unless it's in rubles or gold. And what has happened is 150 countries out of 212, I think it is, have signed on to this agreement to go possibly with the rubles. India already has decided to do it. I think that's going to be the new thing, because right now the ruble on this planet is the only currency backed by gold. Now, again, I talked about Europe being in trouble because of this, and it appears that there's certain people that are leading the world into a design destruction. And guys, just days after Germany reported the highest inflation in a generation, with February headline CPI soaring at 7.6 annual pace and blowing away all expectations. The chart below is a year-to-year German inflation chart. Notice coming out of 2021 into 22. Look how high it is. But guys, this is nothing compared to what is now being announced and is going to start in a few hours as Germany wakes up. It says this is giving locals a distinctly unpleasant reminder that even before the Russian invasion of Ukraine broke, what few supply chains remained and sent prices even higher into the stratosphere. On Monday, it's coming up in a few hours, Germany will take one step toward a return of the dreaded Weimar hyperinflation, when, according to the German Retail Association, called the HDE, consumers should prepare for another wave of price hikes for everyday goods and groceries, with Reuters reporting that prices at German retail chains will explode 20 to 50% in the morning, doubling 50%. And they're already in trouble. People are already crippled by high gas and the lockdowns, things like that. They're already crippled the economy of the entire planet. And in the video last night, again, we talked about the ruble now taking over from the dollar. Guys, that has already happened. It's not something we're waiting to see. It's already happened. And I saw an interview earlier today when one of the guys was talking about that when this happens, when this dollar goes to zero, they will announce it at 28 a.m. during a weekday. And they explain that that's because that's when the stock market, the brokers, they take that lunch break. Also, the other world markets are not open. Have not opened yet at that 11:30. And they said in 2 minutes, from 11:28 to 11:30, the dollar would go to zero. Hope you understand where we're at. And I've had questions in the video last night about people saying, well, what am I going to do if my money goes to nothing? Even if I could take it out, it's still going to go to nothing. But that's not what we were talking about, guys. You weren't paying attention. And we've been talking about it for a while. The cash is going to be useless. You need to turn it into hard assets, not put it in the safe. Get it food, water, supplies, whatever you need. And people talk about also the communities getting together. And I mentioned in a video maybe a month ago that the last few years, since I have a tractor and one of the tillers that go on the back of my John Deere, I've helped friends and family in the local area for little or nothing, just so that we would create a barrier of people that were supplied at least with food. And believe me, here in the country, people know how to take care of themselves. So we're helping doing that. Let me say this, and it will apply to a few of you out there. I have a friend that owns one of the best restaurants, not just in the state of Mississippi, but I've traveled to West Coast to East Coast. Still my favorite. It's just 10 minutes from me here. And the name of it is Jose's. It's a Mexican restaurant. You can look it up. It's in a town south of here in McGee, Mississippi. and it's clean. The service is excellent. The food is excellent. Anyway, I was talking, a friend of mine owns a restaurant and runs it, has been in that area for a long time. But he was telling me about the high prices of things that he was getting shipped to him now every day, things like cases of peppers and zucchini and things like the tomatoes that they use a lot of. You get the green and red bell peppers in your gravy and your salt, and you know how they do it with the steaks and all that. Anyway, he uses 10 or so cases a week. And some of the stuff like zucchini had gone up with shipping to $70 a case from last year, $40. So what I did, after I talked with him, me and him made a deal, and I planted about an extra acre of land, more than I normally do, with about 400 pepper plants of the varieties I just told you, including jalapenos, some salsa tomatoes, peppers, tomatoes, and the zucchini. And so we're going to barter. If there's cash is still available, he'll pay me for these, and he can come get them, or I can deliver them in 10 minutes without the extra shipping involved in shipping them from wherever they come from, right? And so here's what I'm saying to you. This is going to can make a, $500 a week, $700 a week increase in what I make. Now, it's not easy work. And if I didn't have the tractor with the 4-foot tiller on the back, then I may not be doing it. But if some of you guys, all of you guys are in the position that are farmers, even small backyard farms, or just you got an acre or two, get with a local restaurant and find out what they are using and talk to them about how much the inflation is costing them. As far as we know diesel's up, we know fertilizer's up for the people that plant this stuff. And so again, probably 400 plants I added in there. And what's so great about it, being him owning a Mexican restaurant, is peppers here in the South are so easy to grow. They won't stop growing and producing until the first hard freeze. And that could be November here. So if you just listen to what I'm saying, and as long as there's cash, then he will pay me for that. He will save, because there won't be all the expensive shipping in it, right? I can back that out. He can save money, and we're working a system out between him and I that when the dollar goes to zero, then we can use that as barter. And think about it, guys. The more you can plant, the more restaurants that you can supply. And again, peppers. In this particular restaurant, use red and green bells, jalapenos, zucchini, squash. That was some big things with them. And again, maybe 10, 12 cases of that alone, not including tomatoes, which I also planted a lot of. But it's some work involved. But that is how you're going to survive. You're going to have food for you and your family, and then you've got something that you can barter and trade with and keep your family fed. You supply a restaurant with things that they need, you won't go hungry. Just think about it. Think about your situation. A lot of you are gardeners. And whatever kind of restaurant it is, they're going to need fresh vegetables. I say the Mexican restaurant is easy because peppers are so easy. You have to chop them down to kill them or freeze them. They just keep producing. And so that is one way to deal with the situation. In a video tomorrow, I'll put some pictures up of what we planted, Tina and I, and show you some of the land that we're tilling up now. And it's just an opportunity to take advantage of that will help my economy. It will help the local economy by helping the restaurant. It will feed people. So it's just a good thing, and I think God has a special place for farmers that work hard. Again, the peppers are not that hard once you get them in the ground, which I have done now. But you're going to have to pick them. But it's not like shelling peas or major labor or anything. They basically take care of themselves. You just snip them off, break them off, fill up the cases, and deliver them. Think about what I'm saying. It could be a lifesaver, and some of you guys are going to do this. But again, Germany's retail chains, including groceries, will explode between 20 and 50% within a few hours. Remember, we're dealing with universal time. Now, the second wave of price increases, which is coming, and it will certainly be in double figures. This is coming from cited by the local. According to the president of the trade association, the first retail chains have already started to raise their prices in Germany, and the rest are likely to follow. Again, we're breaking into early Monday there. We will soon be able to see the impact of the war reflected in price labels across all the supermarkets. The great change, the new world economy. Recently, popular retail chains such as Aldi, Edeka, and Globus announced that they would be forced to raise their prices. At Aldi, meat and butter will be significantly more expensive from Monday due to price hikes from its suppliers. Translated, Aldi, for example, expects increases of 20 to 50% in its purchase prices in the coming weeks. Already on Monday, meat, sausage, and butter are to become significantly more expensive. This is coming to the entire world. They're already having food riots in parts of the Middle East. Bangladesh is in trouble. It's coming here. And so my message is to prepare and make sure you have a way to have clean water. Make sure you have enough food. Even if you can't go in and buy long-term survival food. You know, the Bible mentions 2 times of survival. It always sticks in my head. I may be wrong, but Noah, there was 150 days, 5 months, where they needed to be supplied for in that ship. That's how long they were basically stuck in there for that period and they couldn't do anything else. Also in the in Book of Revelation, there would be a 5-month period of the locust army. And so that 5 months, it's always stayed with me. That would be the minimum I would go for. I don't care if it was rice and beans for that long a period of time. That's better than starving. And I want to show you something on our website. And this is bpearthwatch.com. Many of you have seen it. It's been here 12 or 13 years. But we sell the Alexa Pure Pro water filtration system. We've also designed and we build and ship the AquaFlow that inserts in there and exchanges air between the bottom and top tank, and really it doesn't increase the filtration rate. It just increases how much water is coming out into your pitcher once it's filtered, because there was a problem with it. It's the #1 filtration system in the world, and we just improved it. We didn't touch the filter itself. We just made an attachment, and thousands of you guys have one called the AquaFlow. But we're talking about inflation, and I want to show you something. I said it's coming here, and it already has. If you click on this water filter ad here, click there, you'll go to our site that is tied in with Alexa Pure and with my Patriot Supply. Now, the price on this thing, we've seen it go over, well, right now, guys, and it wasn't this morning when I was preparing to get the information together, they're sold out. Now, there's been supply chain problems, but and let me just say for a minute, it had went up to $279, and that's one of the highest I've ever seen it. But you're still, with the filter that you're seeing here in the bottom left, you get 5,000 gallons of the cleanest water you can filter. You can take this, it's very light, you can take it apart, put it in a bug-out bag, use a river, lake, or stream. But the point, and what I was coming here to remind you of, and now it's even worse, is that it was $279. We've seen it down as low as $149, and hundreds of you guys took advantage of that. But if you think about even at $279, which they're sold out, and they're not going to go back down. Why? Because diesel's not going back down. The shipping, the cost of the metal in the stainless steel in this, the cost of the filters, everything in every aspect of doing business has went up. Just like the restaurant owner was telling me, everything has gone up. And my point was, if you're going to get it at that price, and they'll more than likely be coming back in stock, then get it now. Because think about 5,000 gallons of water, and that's the black filter here. That is interchangeable. That's $5,000 if you can get good spring water at $1 a gallon. Think about it. So Then if you replace the filter, they're up now from, we kept them at 85. They're up to about 109, I think now. You can check it out. It's on the website. We're still beating the InfoWars price by about $10 on the filter, but you can replace that filter and go another 2 or 3 years with another 5,000 gallons of water that you can drink, that takes all the chlorine out, all the poisons. We use it for everything. And this is not really about an ad, but I was saying, if you think you're going to wait and save money now, I don't think that with a sale coming up, all you're going to do, and this is a perfect example, and I promise you, I didn't know they were sold out. I saw it this morning. We had to change it on our website, the pricing, $279. If you'll look, you'll see that. But not only is it not going back down, you're going to see these shortages, and that's a perfect example. So many of you that have it, you're lucky. You guys start paying attention daily and come here, because we will usually always have the best price. Right now we're running even with InfoWars and My Patriot Supply. Now the one thing that we do still have in the supply food is we're $150 cheaper in one of the big kits that has a lot of pieces in it. Now going back to our website, let me scroll down and I'll see what that change was. The Lexapro filter has gone from our price at $85. It's normally $119 to $109.95. And guys are not going down. They're just going to become become harder to get. And if you can get them, the price is going to continue to go up, just like we're seeing in Germany, within hours going 20 to 50% up. Plan demolition. Now coming back to the website, you can scroll down, you can see right here you've got this emergency solar power cooking kit, except remember they're now out of the Lexapro, and that's a key part of it. But if you just need food, come down and look at the 3-month emergency food supply. Now this is per person, and they also have a 30-day supply. But if you have 3 months of emergency food, if you were in a bind, you could stretch that out over the 5-month period that I'm talking about, plus with some beans and rice that you have. And again, one thing about these types of survival food is you basically, all you have to have is a campfire to heat some water up and mix this stuff up. You just come there and look at all the different varieties. But if you click there, that we've got, again, the filters out, the 3-month supply right here, is we've got $150 off of that. Most of the other folks that are dealing with this are still at $897, but that's 3 months, 21 varieties, 2,000 calories per day, 25-year shelf life. But if in the short term, 4-week emergency food supply, $297, 16 varieties. You can read this, guys, but there's something about this I want you to realize. In your checkout, they have 6 to 12 month interest-free financing with about a 99% approval rate. So if you were going to go in here, and there's 3-month supplies, there's 1 year, there's 2-year supplies, and that you can get. And it goes on up in money, but if you divide that over the 12 months that you can finance this, again, 99%, I think, approval rate. Just go in there, it's a very simple process. I use it to stock up. But you can go there and go through the different kits. Again, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, things like that. Look at how many people you're dealing with. Go in and use that 12-month financing, which would be cheaper than if you're going to the grocery store for that month, if you divide it over 12 months. And you got stuff, again, you can heat up water and mix all of this and eat it. But again, things are going up. They're not going back down, and they're going to be becoming almost impossible to get. But short term, go out and get every bag of beans and every bag of rice you can. Things that will hold up over time. And if you got one of the air sealers for food, that's a great way to do your rice and your beans. Stick them in some 5-gallon buckets, put them on the shelf, whatever. Things are going to get tough. You do not want to stand. And again, I'm telling you, you can get the supply of food here, the long-term food, and the stuff you can finance, but immediately, because just like the announcement now, within a few hours, prices are going to double on a lot of food in Germany. That's how we're going to get our announcement. But remember the 11/28 shutdown? In 2 minutes, within 2 minutes, the entire world will get a message that the dollar is worth zero. So if you're asking, well, if I take it out of the bank and it's going to nothing, then why am I doing that? It's so that, and please listen, I get this question every time we do a video like this. You take it out of the bank, turn it into something you can eat or protect yourself with. Do you understand what I'm saying? You don't want to get in the FEMA line. We're watching it. You watch it. It's a heads up, guys. Be safe.